Welcome to Banu Chemistry Concepts YouTube channel. Today we will try to understand the chemistry behind ripening of fruits. Firstly, let us discuss the fruit ripening process. The ripening of fruit is a complex process involving numerous physiological, biochemical, and structural changes which leads to the change in the color, sugar content, flavor, aroma, acidity, and texture in the fruits. It is the process which makes the fruit palatable, edible, and nutritious. The word palatable means agreeable to the taste, and the word edible means fit to be eaten. You see the picture of fruit ripening in tomatoes as well as the fruit ripening in bananas. During the ripening process of fruits, several changes takes place. They are change in carbohydrate composition, that is, the sweetness of fruits will be increased. The change in the accumulation of organic acids, this leads to decrease in sourness, change in color, that is from greener to less greener or typically red color, softening of flesh of the fruit. Next, develop characteristic aroma and flavor. How fruits change its color on ripening. The green color of the unripe fruit is mainly due to the presence of green pigment called as chlorophyll. The change in color as the fruit ripens is because of the loss or disappearance of that green color pigment chlorophyll and simultaneous synthesis and accumulation of other pigments like anthocyanin or carotenoids, which are responsible for the different colors. Anthocyanins are a type of polyphenol compounds that gives the fruits like apples, grapes, and blackberries their distinctive red or purple colors. You see the color of apple, which is red, as well as grapes and blackberries, which are purple. The responsible chemical compound for their distinctive color is anthocyanins. Similarly, the yellow, orange, and red color of fruits like tomato and citrus comes from carotenoids. Carotenoids are classified into two classes. Number one, the oxygen-free carotenes are simply the hydrocarbon carotenes. Examples are lycopene and beta carotene. And next one, the oxygen-containing xanthophylls. Example is lutein. You see, the carrots which are in orange color, the responsible compound is carotene, that is beta carotene, and lycopene is responsible for the thick red color of tomatoes. You see, in this kiwi fruit, the flesh after ripening is in green color. That means the chlorophyll is retained in the flesh of that ripe fruit. This suggests that the fruit chloroplasts are not converted to chromoplast, which is typical in the ripening process of a fruit. How is fruit softness regulated during ripening? The softness of a fruit is determined by the state of its cell walls. The fruit cell walls generally made up of rigid layers of sugars called polysaccharides, which covers each cell plasma membrane. The major polysaccharides of the cell wall are cellulose, hemicellulose, and pectin. As the enzymes begins to dissolve the cell wall polysaccharides, particularly the pectinase enzyme, the cell wall starts to break down and the fruit tends to become softer. Hence, the shelf life and texture of fruits depend upon the enzyme activity. Next, we are going to understand about the ripening of a fruit will change the sweetness. How it changes the sweetness of a fruit. During ripening, the breakdown of starch into simple sugars like glucose, fructose, and sucrose increases inside the fruit. This brings out the sweetness in the ripened fruit. In the picture, you see this is unripe green banana, which do not taste sweet. But when they ripen, as shown in this picture, you will get the sweeter taste due to the increase in sugar levels or simple sugar levels like glucose, fructose, and sucrose. With the onset of the fruit ripening, that is, with the start by starting the fruit ripening, the accumulated organic acids like malic acid and citric acid decreases. This decrease in acidity results in decrease in sourness and also contributes to the sweetness in the fruits. Next, how ripening of a fruit brings out flavor and aroma. The two important factors that contribute to a fruit characteristic flavor and pleasant aroma are the balance of the correct sugar and the acid levels. And second one is the production of or formation of volatile organic compounds having aroma. The volatile organic compounds which will be formed during ripening may be a mixture of volatile esters, acids, aldehydes, terpenoids, alcohols, and aromatic compounds. For example, in apple, 2-methyl butyl acetate and alpha farnesene are responsible for its characteristic flavor and aroma. In mangoes, ethyl butanoate and pheranone are responsible for its flavor and aroma. In kiwi's fruit, ethyl butanoate and 1,8 cineol is responsible for its characteristic flavor and aroma. And in strawberries, pheranol is responsible for its characteristic flavor. Therefore, the flavor and aroma of a ripened fruit depends upon the correct balance of the sugar level and the acid level inside the fruit, as well as the production of volatile organic compounds with smell. What is a fruit ripening hormone? Ethylene, which is also known as ethene, is a natural gaseous plant hormone that initiates or promotes the fruit ripening process. Hence, it is known as ripening hormone or fruit ripening hormone. During the later stages of the fruit development, that is at the ending stages of the fruit development, the ethene gas fills the intercellular air spaces within the fruit and accelerates the ripening process. This is the structure of ethylene, which is a simple hydrocarbon which comes under the class of alkenes. It is the simplest alkene, which is having carbon-carbon double bond. In every fruit, ethylene is produced in low levels throughout its life cycle. But in some fruits, the ethylene level suddenly shoot up when the fruit starts ripening. In similar way, respiration takes place in all the harvested products and also in any living plant products. What is respiration? Respiration is defined as the oxidative breakdown of more complex molecules present in the cell like starch and organic acids into simple molecules like carbon dioxide and water with a simultaneous release of energy. Let us discuss the classification of fruits. Based on the respiratory pattern and ethylene physiology in the fruits, they can be divided into two classes. Number one, climacteric fruits and non-climacteric fruits. Climacteric fruits show a clear increase in respiration at the onset of ripening, in coincidence with a sudden outburst of the rate of ethylene production. That means in climacteric fruits, the respiration rate increases as well as the ethylene production also increases suddenly. These climacteric fruits continue ripening after harvesting also and did not remain on the street or tree or plant. That means even if you pluck the fruit from the tree or plant, these fruits will continue to ripen. As well as these fruits can even respond to the external ethylene for ripening process. The examples for climacteric fruits include banana, tomato, apple, pears, mango, papaya, and kiwi. Next, we will discuss about non-climacteric fruits. Non-climacteric fruits do not show a sharp increase in respiration and as well as do not show a sharp increase in ethylene production at the onset of ripening process. That means in these fruits, the respiration rate almost remain unchanged as well as there won't be any increase in ethylene production. Non-climatic fruits ripen only when they are attached to the parent plant, which is exactly opposite to the climacteric fruits. Hence, these non-climacteric fruits have a short shelf life if harvested when they are ripe. But these fruits can still ripen if they are exposed to an external ethylene source. The examples of this class of fruits are strawberry, grapes, cherry, pineapple, and many citrus fruits. All vegetables also be considered into this type of pattern. Let us understand the artificial ripening of fruit. Calcium carbide is used for artificial ripening of fruits. You can see in this picture, this is the calcium carbide pieces. When calcium carbide is dissolved in water or it comes to in contact with moisture, it produces acetylene gas. It is the simplest class of hydrocarbon under the class alkyne, having the formula CH triple bond CH. It acts as an artificial ripening agent, but there are many harmful effects to health if you use the fruits which were ripened by using the calcium carbide. The worldwide accepted and safe method for artificial ripening of fruits is using or spraying external ethylene, provided the concentration of ethylene does not exceed 100 ppm. ppm means parts per million, and also the fruit should be wrapped in a paper or cover to prevent the direct contact with the gas. This is the you see in this picture the ethylene spray which will be sprayed externally on the fruits for the ripening process. In the ripening rooms, catalytic generators are also used to produce ethylene gas safely in a controlled manner. Ethylene releasing chemical compounds like ethifon, whose IUPAC name is 2-chloroethyl phosphonic acid, are also used to ripen fruits. You can see the structure of the ethifon in this picture. How to know whether a fruit is artificially ripened or naturally ripened? Artificial ripened fruits will have uniform skin color in fruits like tomato, mango, and papaya. But in case of banana, the fruit will be yellow while the stem will be dark green color. You see this? This is dark green, and this is yellow in color. This clearly indicates it is an artificially ripened banana. And generally, artificially ripened fruits have less natural flavor and shorter shelf life, and also wrinkle-free, smooth, and shiny skin. And these fruits are not juicy as the ripe fruits which are naturally ripened. The washing and peeling the fruits before eating can minimize the risk of calcium carbide, which was used for artificial ripening. How to slow down the ripening of fruits during transport and storage process. Ripening can be slowed down by lowering the temperature during the transport and storage. Majority of the fruits can be frozen, but on thawing, many fruits lose their flavor and texture. What is thawing? The process of frozen substances becoming soft due to warming up is known as thawing. For example, unripe banana and mango needs to be shipped at 13 to 14 degrees centigrade. And for apples, even you can go for 1 or 2 degrees centigrade also. Fruits need oxygen to ripe. Increasing the carbon dioxide levels and decreasing the oxygen levels in the atmosphere around the fruit will ripen it more slowly. Another method to slow down the ripening is to block the action of the fruit ripening hormone ethylene inside the fruit. This can be done by using the chemical compound known as 1-MCP, that is 1-methyl cyclopropene. This 1-methyl cyclopropene is also used to maintain the freshness of cut flowers. Removing ethylene from the storage environment by using the materials that absorb ethylene like permanganate is another method for slowing down the ripening process of fruits. Therefore, to slow the ripening of fruits during storage and transport, you have to store that in low temperatures, and you can increase the carbon dioxide levels, and you have to decrease the oxygen levels, or you can use some chemical compounds like 1-MCP, or you can use some ethylene absorbers like potassium permanganate. Then what are the harmful health effects of artificial ripening of fruits if you consume them? Studies have shown that artificial ripening fruits process breaks down the organic composition of vitamins and other micronutrients inside the fruit. Besides, the industrial grade calcium carbide is often found contaminated with the trace amounts of arsenic and phosphorus, which are very toxic chemicals. Therefore, thus, arsenic and phosphorus causes different harmful health effects to our body, like vomiting, diarrhea, burning sensation in the chest, abdomen, and burning sensation in eyes, and ulcers on the skin, mouth, and throat, etc. Therefore, we should be always aware to purchase naturally ripening fruits instead of going for artificially ripening fruits where they use the calcium carbide, which is contaminated with the trace amounts of arsenic and phosphorus. This calcium carbide produces acetylene when it comes to contact with moisture, and this also affects the nervous system by reducing the oxygen supply to the brain, and also it causes headaches, memory loss, and numbness. Therefore, consumption of these artificially ripened mangoes can also upset your stomach and disturb the intestinal function. Hence, be aware of using artificial ripening fruits. If needed, at least try to wash the artificial ripened fruits before using it. Thank you very much for your patience. Listen.